Hello volunteers! This video is intended for brand new TCMs who are getting ready to place their initial order. Initial cookie orders are due January 16th by 8 p.m. That's this coming Tuesday. What's an initial order? An initial order is the cookie order the TCM places prior to the beginning of the program so that Girl Scouts have cookies in hand to sell starting Sunday, January 4th. Cookies will be picked up the day before the program begins and given to girls and their families. TCMs, please do make sure that you have a cookie program permission form from the Girl Scouts parent or caregiver before you give cookies to girls. Troop cookie managers may enter their IO as soon as they have access to eBuddy. Just a reminder, in order to gain access to eBuddy, you must have an approved TCM agreement and a current membership and background check on file. Troops must have also submitted a current ACH form as well. Another important thing to note is we can only guarantee the quantity of each variety of cookie that you order through the initial order. Please keep that in mind when deciding on the quantities you want to order in your initial order. Here are some questions to help TCMs forecast their IO. The number one burning question is, how much to order? Brand new troops should use the following criteria to determine how much to order for their IO. First, look at goal-driven decision-making. Find out from the Girl Scouts in your troop what their individual goals are. Talk with the Girl Scouts in your troop about the troop goal. One question to ask is, does the troop want to earn the initial order reward? Also discuss, what is the troop planning to do for the next year? Are you planning to do certain activities, maybe a community service or take action project, a troop campout, or travel? What the troop plans to do will certainly factor into the cookie program goals for the troop as a whole. I mentioned initial order rewards. Here's a snapshot of those rewards. First-year troops with an IO of 125 packages per registered girl. Girls will receive Cookie Rookie patches as reward, and the troop will receive a GSCO tablecloth to be used at booths. Troops with an IO of 350 or more packages per registered girl will receive the following IO rewards: a frog charm for the girls and 2 lanyards for the adults. The first-year initial order rewards are only available to brand new troops. Something else that's important to note is that IO rewards are calculated based on the number of packages per registered girl. So if you have, let's say, 12 girls in your troop, but only 10 will participate in the cookie program, the IO rewards will be calculated based on 12 girls in your troop rather than the 10 that are selling. This differs from the troop superseller rewards, which are calculated based on the per selling girl average. So using the same example, you have 12 girls in your troop, 10 of those girls are participating in the cookie program. To calculate the troop superseller reward, the average will be based on the number of girls selling rather than the total number of girls in your troop. Other important questions to consider when forecasting your initial order. How many booths does the troop plan to have? These can be My Sales booths, which are booths that troops seek out in their communities at local businesses, or they can be council booths. Council booths are only organized by GSCO. For example, those are the booths at Walmarts, King Soopers and City Markets, and Safeway. Council booth selections start on January 25th and go to January 31st. So even though you may not know exactly how many booths you will have, you can still make a good informed guesstimate by thinking about the number of My Sales booths that your troop has secured or plans to secure, and adding to that a reasonable average of council booths that you'll get through selections. For example, 1 to 2 booths per week. How many booths is also a good question to get input on from your SUCM, and I'll circle back to that later. Another good question to ask, particularly of yourself or any other troop support volunteers who will help out with cupboard pickups, is how close is the nearest cupboard? And how many times are you willing to go to the cupboard to get cupboard reorders? Factor that into your considerations in terms of the quantity of cookies you order in your initial order. And also ask, what is the level of parent-caregiver support and commitment to participating in the cookie program? Think about parent involvement with girls working at the booths, again, the cupboard pickups, parents being there to chaperone for door-to-door cookie sales and for girl delivery. Parent-caregiver support and commitment is definitely an important thing to factor in when forecasting how many cookies to order per girl. Also factor in digital cookie girl delivery orders. So check in with your Girl Scouts and find out the quantity per cookie variety that their customers have already ordered. That's another variable to factor into your IO forecast. For additional guidance, set up appointments in person, a virtual meeting, or even just a phone call with your service unit cookie manager. If you don't know who that person is yet, you will see their name and contact information on your dashboard in eBuddy. Your SUCM can show you how to use the IO calculator, which we're going to take a look at in a minute. They can talk you through the considerations that we've just discussed, and they can also show you or talk you through how to enter the IO in eBuddy too. And we're going to take a quick look at that as well. In addition, you can also ask your SUCM to pair you up with an experienced TCM in your area, not just for the IO, but during the cookie program. Sometimes just having that person to reach out to can make a huge difference for new TCMs, so don't hesitate to ask. Your friend and favorite tool to use for forecasting your initial order, it's also very useful in placing cupboard reorders, is the IEO Calculator. The calculator recommends how many packages of each variety to order based on Colorado cookie sales data. There are now 9 cookie varieties, changing up the percentage of cookie sales by variety. The sales percentages shown here on the pie chart are a recommendation based on 80% of the previous year's GSCO sales per girl average for new troops and girls. You can scan the QR code on the slide to go to the IO calculator, which is on our cookie resources page. But I'm also going to bounce to our GSCO website, go to the cookie resources page, and show you where to find it. Before we take a look at the IO calculator, and following that, we're going to bounce into eBuddy for just a few minutes to take a look at the initial order tab, delivery tab, and initial order rewards tab. I just want to share a few more tips and reminders. Colorado Girl Scout cookie customers love their chocolate cookie varieties. So ordering a little bit heavy on the chocolates, can't go wrong. That would be the Thin Mints, Samoas, Tagalongs, and Adventurefuls. Keep in mind that cupboards will start opening on Thursday, February 8th, but not all of them will open that Thursday. When the cupboard's going to open and their days and hours of availability will be listed in eBuddy. There is a 72-hour hold on cupboard orders, meaning you need to place the cupboard order that you need 72 hours or 3 days ahead of pickup time. Again, GSCO can only guarantee the quantity of each variety of cookie that you order through the initial order. We do make every effort, though, to keep up with inventory needed during the cookie program. In your initial order, you want to be sure you have enough cookies to allocate to girls in your troop, especially to help them fulfill their digital cookie DOC girl delivery orders, but also to cover some of the first booth sales that you'll have during the first 2 weeks. All right. Now we're going to take a look at that IO calculator on the GSCO website. Here we are on the Girl Scouts of Colorado website. So to find the IO calculator, you're going to want to go to the Cookies tab, select Volunteer Cookie Resources, and then once you're on that page, just scroll down a little bit and you'll find the IO calculator right here. Just click on the link. See if I can do a quick scroll down. Here are all the cookies and the different sales percentages. So let me just do a quick demonstration of how you would use this. Let's say, for the sake of simplicity, that your troop goal is to sell 1,500 packages of cookies. And you've got 12 registered girls in your troop. That's going to give you a per girl average of 125 packages of cookies per girl. Qualify your troop who is very interested in getting it for the IO cookie rewards for first year troops. If I scroll down on the page, I can show you that it breaks it down then for you for those 1,500 packages of cookies. That's 450 packages of Thin Mints, 300 of Samoa, 210 of Tagalong, and so on. And you can also just use it as you're working on your forecast so you can look at different scenarios. Once you're done using the IO calculator to play out different possibilities, you can then go to eBuddy and start entering your initial order. Once you're in eBuddy, you're going to want to go to the Initial Order tab, and to enter your initial order, click on the Other line, and then fill out the quantities of packages for each variety. So based on our example, you would input 450 packages of Thin Mints, 300 packages of Samoas, and 210 of Tagalongs. Once you've input all of the number of packages that you'd like to order, click the Save button. I'm not going to hit the Save here because this is an actual troop and I don't want to throw off their initial order. So I'll hit Cancel. But I'm going to pop over to the previous season, same troop, and you can see their initial order from last year in packages and then converted to cases. Once you've input and submitted your own initial order, you're going to see the order in packages and cases too under this Initial Order tab. The next thing you need to do then is to go to the Delivery tab and select where you and your crew are going to pick up your cookies by choosing a delivery site. So click on the Delivery tab. This troop is from the Grand Junction area, so they selected the Mesa County main delivery day. The time slots highlighted in green are the ones that they selected. And this little note here is a prompt to tell you, based on the number of cases of cookies you're picking up, how many time slots you'll need to select. You'll also need to answer these questions. Who is picking up your cookies? You or someone from your troop. You could also, if you prearrange it, ask someone from another troop or your service unit to pick up cookies for you. And because there are some troop leaders or TCMs that are volunteers in multiple troops, this question, will you be picking up for more than one troop? Answer yes or no. Now, I'm going to go back to current cookie season because I want to point out a few other things. Okay, now we're back looking at a different troop in the 2024 cookie season who has placed their IO and they've selected their delivery site that they'll pick up from. Here's what I wanted to also point out to you. When you click on the View Confirmation tab, it's going to list your pickup location, your pickup time, and of course it will show you an itemization of how many cases you're picking up. But this is handy information to have too, especially for new folks, and that is it estimates based on your order how many vehicles you will need in your caravan to pick up your cookies. So this breakout shows, obviously you don't want to have 27 compact cars. Probably best to go with sport utility vehicles, a couple of pickups, or maybe you want to round up a few cargo vans. And obviously, after you've selected your site location, which you can do by scrolling through this drop-down menu, choose the location that's most convenient for you, choose your times, and then you would hit the Submit button. Now, for the sake of this demo, let's say you've got your initial order in, you've selected your delivery site, and based on your order, if your Girl Scouts qualified for one of the 2 initial order rewards, the next thing you're going to do is go to the Rewards tab. You'll want to choose Initial Order Rewards and click on the Fill Out button. Something to note on this page is the sample troop that we're looking at is an experienced troop, and although they placed number-wise a large enough initial order where the number of girls in their troop definitely hit that PGA of 125. They're not a new troop. So though it says it here, they won't be receiving the first year troop reward, but they will be receiving the 350 plus per registered girl initial order reward. This information should populate on its own based on your initial order, but you do have to get under this tab and hit that Select Submit Reward Order. If you should forget and it's past the deadline, don't worry, because your Service Unit Cookie Manager is going to be checking all of the troop initial orders as well as initial order rewards and making sure that everything is submitted is correct and that any initial order rewards that should be submitted are also submitted. And speaking of Service Unit Cookie Managers, they are your primary support person for any questions that you might have about initial orders, delivery site locations, what to expect when picking up cookies, as well as offering some sage advice on forecasting your initial order. But they're one person supporting many different troops, so if you do have a lot of questions or you do feel you need a lot of support, please reach out to your service unit cookie manager sooner than later. Don't wait until the last day, an hour before the deadline. I'm not actually saying that you would do that. I'm just saying thank you so much for watching the video. Happy cookie season!